The Phoenix Suns have won their first Summer League game, being led by David Roddy, winning 100-99 versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it was a fantastic performance. Oso Iguodala and Ryan Dunn, the two new rookies, also looked promising in this game, and we'll be looking at the players that stood out for this Phoenix Suns team in the Summer League and what role they could fit in with this rotation. All of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. Before we dive into all of this Suns news, though, 79% of you guys who watch our videos are not subscribed, and CJ and I appreciate watching that number dwindle down, hitting 1,000 subscribers. But if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around this Phoenix Suns team, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as this is the place for you. Without further ado, though, let's dive into the topic at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And like I mentioned in the introduction, the Suns secure their first win in the Summer League this season, beating the Oklahoma City Thunder 100-99 in a clutch end of the game where David Roddy was faced with 3 free throws after making an and one and took all 3 free throws to successfully win the game for the Phoenix Suns. Now, if we want to look at the scoreboard with this team, looking at the box score, we can see that David Roddy has been the player in command and has been the main focal point for this Phoenix Suns team in the Summer League. He has the most experience out of anybody on this roster, and it makes sense that he is going to be taking command. But Roddy looked fantastic in yesterday's performance. 7 for 12 from the field, 50% from the 3-point range, with alongside 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a block, finishing alongside 21 points. And like I mentioned, getting the clutch free throws at the end for the Phoenix Suns. If we want to look at this tweet from Gerald Bourguet, we can see that Roddy had 10 of his 21 points in the fourth quarter, including a game-timing 3 in the final minute and the go-ahead free throws to win the game. Summer League is Summer League, and even though we take it at a grain of salt, but some of y'all were way too quick to have a strong opinion after one Summer League game, and the Phoenix Suns have kind of rebounced and kind of shown us some different looks. Now, obviously, this was their first win. They had lost 2 previous contests before this matchup that they took on yesterday versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. They lost in a blowout game versus the Golden State Warriors, and they lost in a disappointing fashion to the Indiana Pacers as well. But with this bounce back win with David Roddy, it is looking nice for the Phoenix Suns and looking like David Roddy could possibly get some rotational minutes. We want to look at this tweet from Dwayne Rankin. We can see that they're expecting to be a part of the rotation. Dennis Scott on David Roddy with the Phoenix Suns this season. Roddy came over in a trade alongside Royce O'Neal before the trade deadline last season. So with this team having an abundance of wings, it is looking like that David Roddy is expected to be a part of this rotation. And with him shining out in the Summer League so far, it has definitely bolstered his case. Now, a guy in David Roddy came over from Memphis in a deal kind of when Memphis was looking to shed some of their low-end contract players due to the fact that they had some rising stars in their G League with guys like Vince Williams and there's another guy that I'm blanking off the top of my head. If you guys know who it is, drop it down in the comment section. But the Grizzlies had an abundance of guys that they were looking to build up and bring up from their G League. The Suns obviously got David Roddy as an extra piece in one of those moves. And David Roddy has been, kind of undersized 3, undersized 4 in a body scale, but, kind of got to play that 3-ball position. I do like the way that he can kind of bring some life for this Suns wing rotation. But with him being here and obviously standing with this team, this is going to be a logjam of a wing group, which we'll get to in a little bit longer. Now, looking more at some other players that, kind of stood out for the Phoenix Suns in this Summer League game. Let's look at some of the rookies here. Now, if we want to look back at this screenshot, we can see that Ryan Dunn hit his first 3 for the Phoenix Suns so far in this Summer League game, and he's really looking solid on the defensive side of the ball. If we want to look at this tweet from Dwayne Rankin, we can see that the guys have loved him, his work ethic, his defensive ability, and his athleticism. Matt Ishbia is talking about Suns rookie Ryan Dunn. He's the kind of guy that fits in well with our team. We're looking for some young guys that have some energy and positivity while playing some great defense. And that's what Dunn is going to contribute to this squad. Now, Dunn is not the perfect offensive player, but I did like to see that he was kind of looking fluid in some of this offense, playing off of these guys and not just kind of sitting in the corner like we had seen in previous games. And he did hit a three, which was nice to see. And now I don't expect those threes to be falling a lot like we saw at Virginia. He's a defensive wing, mainly prioritizing. But I do think that he can play some solid minutes off the bench for this Phoenix Suns team at that 3 to 4 position and could be one of the best defenders in the league. This could be one of those guys that could be a Jaden McDaniels or a Herbert Jones type of player for this Phoenix Suns team. Yes, he does have to develop a little bit better of a jump shot to kind of turn into those guys, but if he can still be on that defensive level as some of those wings, the Suns have a star in a piece in Ryan Dunn on the defensive side that can help out for this Suns team in the future. Now, if we also want to look at this, we can see that another player that has been playing pretty solid as well is Oso Ighodaro. He has made some great plays down low in the post, has been a solid playmaker for this Suns team as well, and also can score the basket and has a lot of intangibles. CJ and I kind of broke that down in our offseason review, going over Oso, kind of highlighting how he's brought a little bit more than CJ and I kind of expected from him on the offensive side and a little bit more in that creatability. And I really love to see that. Think the Suns kind of lack that low post scorer, that offensive kind of big man archetype. I know Plumlee's more of a defensive guy. Nurkic can score at the basket and can be an offensive guy at some points, but isn't prioritized for his offense, isn't like an offensive minded big. And obviously, a guy in Bobo has some untapped potential. So having a guy in Oso being that, maybe low post scoring big kind of can develop into that offensive score, but also being that rim protector as well. I really, really like to see it. He can kind of play that tweener of that 4-5 at this moment. And maybe if he puts on some more weight, he can play that traditional 5. Some other guys that I also like that had some performances as well for the Phoenix Suns Summer League team as well. Boo Buie had a solid first half, some inconsistencies on the field goal percentage, but did put up some solid points. And Isaiah Wong, also coming over from the Pacers Summer League and G League team last year, is now with the Suns. Posted up a solid game as well. 18 points on some solid efficiency for the Suns. I could see him being a very, very creative scorer for this Suns G League squad if he does get an opportunity with the Valley Suns. And that's somebody that I think that they should definitely prioritize in bringing in because he could work himself up to a nice two-way contract, which he kind of, I think, had last year on the Indiana Pacers as well. And then another guy that is also on a two-way deal is Mr. Bridges, which everybody is hyped up about on this Suns team. He's really worked himself up from that. He's obviously on that two-way deal, and I think that he can, produce for this Suns team. We haven't seen our other player in Colin Gillespie on a two-way deal be able to crack the summer league rotation, the other guard that the Suns have. But ultimately, the Suns have one two-way spot left, no more roster spots opening. But with a log jam at that wing position with having young guys in Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal coming back, Grayson Allen possibly playing that wing, Kevin Durant, Bol Oso Gadaro, it does leave a question mark for Nazir Little. So I do not think that the Suns are done making moves yet, even though their roster is filled. Their main roster is filled. They have one two-way spot open left. We'll have to see what they do with that. Will it be a guy like Isaiah Wong possibly getting that spot? We'll have to wait and see. Will they leave it open or will they make a move with Nazir Little? Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. The Suns still have 2 more games left for the Summer League. They have one final game versus Milwaukee on Friday. And on Saturday, they have a back-to-back play against the Sacramento Kings, as we know that they are not going to be a top 4 team in the finals for Summer League, as they only have one win so far. Let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section about the Suns Summer League. Who's impressed you? Who has not? Let me know what your thoughts on David Roddy are. I'm excited to break down this Suns team, and if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around the Phoenix Suns throughout the entire offseason, we'll have updates for you here on Suns Digest. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop down your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns!